Well, as you can tell, we're making some progress with our budget. And once again, we're working on this selling general administrative portion of our budget. And obviously, we've got the advertising expense completed, and we've got the bank credit charge expense completed. So obviously, we have a lot of other expenses that we could actually work on, but we're not going to do every specific one of them, otherwise it would take a very long time. And we're actually going to skip down and do the most complicated portion of our budget, which is trying to figure out a budget for our salaries and wages for our business. And we have three major components. We have the salary and wages for the owner, we have the salary and wages for the employees, and then we have our payroll taxes. So we're going to break those apart and figure out a realistic budget for those three items. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out what our salary and wages are for the owner. And the owner says they want a $40,000 wage. So we're going to key that in. That's pretty easy. The next thing we're going to do is we need to figure out how many employees we need for various positions and the rate, the hours, and the weeks per year. So we're going to start out, we know we're going to need a cook, so we're going to call it cook number one. And we're going to pay that position $10 an hour. And we think we need that position for 60 hours a week. And we're going to be working 52 hours a week. So if we take the rate of $10 an hour times 60 hours a week times 52 weeks a year, we're going to get a total of $31,200. Now remember something, this is for the position, this is not by employee, so we don't have to worry about overtime or anything. This position may actually take 2 or 3 or 4 people to fill just this position for the whole week. So think more in terms of position than as of each individual employee. So our next position is going to be cook number 2, and the rate is going to be $9.50 an hour. The number of hours is going to be 36 hours. Weeks obviously is 52 weeks a year, so that's going to cost us a little less than $18,000 a year for that position. Next position, we need a bartender. We're going to call that number 1 position for the bartending, and we're going to rate of pay is going to be $9 an hour. Number of hours per week is going to be 78 hours a week. Number of weeks per year is 52 weeks a year. So the total for that position is going to be $36,500. Now remember something, in our restaurant, our bar portion of our business is going to be open more hours per day than the restaurant. And that is why we need more hours as a bartender position versus a cook position. Next position that we're going to need in our business is going to be, we're going to call it a second bartender. And we're going to pay $9 an hour, but we think we only need that position 22 hours a week, 52 weeks a year. So that position is going to cost us a little over $10,000. Our next position that we're going to need a waitress. We're going to call it waitress number 1. We're going to rate of pay is going to be $8 an hour. Number of hours per week is going to be 78 hours. Weeks per year is 52 weeks for a total of $52,000 per year. Our next position, we still need a second waitress. Rate of pay is going to be the same, $8 an hour. We need about 42 hours a week out of this position, 52 weeks a year. So our expense for a waitress number 2 position is going to be a little over $17,000. And we think we need one more position. We need some type of busboy or dishwasher. And we're going to rate of pay is going to be, I think, about $7.50 an hour. There we go, I spelled busboy right. Rate of pay is $7.50 an hour. Number of hours, about 30 hours a week, 52 weeks a year, $11,700 in wage and salary expenses for the busboy position. Now our next step, we want to add up all these position expenses. So we started at $31,200 and we added up through the $11,700 busboy position, and our grand total is $157,404. We need to enter that total up here, and we're going to round up just a little bit. We're going to enter $157,500. We're going to round. So currently we got completed, we got the owner's salary, and then we got the wage expense of all our employees at $157,500. Now we need to figure out payroll taxes. A lot of different ways to figure out payroll taxes. What I like to do is just take a percentage of our salary and wages. And I'm going to use 15%. I think that's going to be a fair number. So if we add up the 40,000 plus the 157,500, we're going to get a grand total of 197,500. We're going to multiply that times 15%. We multiply that number by 15%, we get payroll tax expense of $29,625. And we think that's going to be enough to cover our FICA, our Medicare, our unemployment compensation, and our workers' compensation. So we think that's a pretty reasonable number. So our final step, we need to take these three numbers and we need to put it on our main budget. So we're going to click on our main budget and we're going to go over to salary and wages of the owner. We're going to enter $40,000. And then our next step is to enter the salary and wages of the employees at $157,500. And then our next step is for the taxes, and we're going to enter $29,625. So obviously it takes a long time to figure out all your salary and wages for your employees, but if you just break it down by position, you'll come up with a very reflective and accurate number for your budget for your business.